Hey everybody, welcome to Local Business Hacks Podcast. I'm your host, Carl Case, and I'm on a mission to help you. Every week, we're going to be talking to local business owners and experts to get their best tips, tricks, and hacks to grow your business. This show is designed to teach you, inspire you, and motivate you to take massive action and start to build your future-proof business. Whether you're just starting off or you're taking your existing business to the next level, this episode is for you. So let's get started. Hi, everyone. Carl Case, Head of Business Development at Referrizer. I am joined here by Amy Rost. We are super excited for another episode of Local Business Hacks. Amy, let's dive right in. Tell us who you are and give me a little bit of your story.
Oh, thanks so much, Carl, for having me. I'm so excited to be here. A little bit about me is I'm the mom of four. I left my corporate job about 6.5 years ago to pursue my passion of Pilates, and I dove right in. I opened a studio. I've been busy cultivating community through movement. I put on the first Pilates conference in Canada in a pandemic, and here we are today. Love local. I love everything about local business and how we can support and, be there for one another.
That's awesome. Well, I love your motivation. I feel your energy through the thousands of miles away through Zoom. It's amazing how we've transmitted to this in this new world. Cool. So Amy, tell me about what motivated you to open your first studio and where are you at today when it comes to your organization?
So I'm a boutique studio. I have a small studio, but I fully believe even though we can have small boutique studios, we no longer have the limitation of geography. So that is really one positive thing that through a hard thing of COVID that has come out is that we now have access to an entire world. And it's just about how do we do that? So whether it's in person or it's a hybrid or it's just an online class, I'm all about cultivating relationships through movement. And it's been a journey. If you would have asked me 3 years ago, this is what Pilates looked like in a studio, I would have been like, you're nuts. But here we are today, and there has been some really amazing gifts that have come out of that. And it's really forced us as an industry to look at how we did things. How can we do things better? And how can we, reach a greater audience with our boutique studios? It's all about community.
I agree. I personally am hands-on with group fitness studios and on the Referrizer side that have typically 500 plus locations, but everybody focuses, at least my successful franchisees and franchisors focus on one thing that you just hit right on the head, which is community. And if you're not providing that aspect, what's to offset you from the 12 other Pilates studios that are within 5-10 miles of your location?
Exactly.
Yeah. So Amy, talk to me about what motivated you to open your first studio and how's business been going?
So I always knew I was going to open a small studio. When I left my corporate job, my vision was always, if I was going to change that lifestyle completely, is that I wanted work-life balance. Like I said, I've got 4 kids, so I'm a busy mom, but I wanted to have work-life balance. And that was what really drew me to the smaller studio. The other thing that drew me to the smaller studio is I do a lot of work with one-to-one, but with chronic pain, chronic illness. I've got a child with rare disease. I do that. A lot of that is really my passion, and creating a smaller space is really more appealing to that population. And it really still lets me get in and we really get to dive into that work in that setting. But then having that opportunity to have group classes where we build community in that way has been it's grown as and evolved as I've been in business. Business is great. It's taken a long time to come back to the in-person stuff pre-COVID, and I'm in Canada, so we've had a different set of rules for much longer. I was closed for almost 12 out of 24 months. Mm-hmm. But again, it's like, I think the more we were willing to look outside the box, think how can we do this differently, is what's continued to drive and evolve to something, that actually provides better balance and more accessibility to anybody. And I love that.
Thank you for that. I can say, personally speaking, I have a Pilates studio downstairs from my complex, and I did walk my what I thought was in shape body into Pilates. And thank goodness I had my first class as a one-on-one.
Right?
Because not only for those of you that haven't tried Pilates and you're in the Alberta area, please hit up Amy. But if you're not, like, you got to try Pilates. It is the hardest workout I have ever done. There's a lot to learn that you don't learn in any other fitness fashion.
It's really about honing in on that, like isolating muscles, looking at movement patterns. And so much of it is concentration. We are teaching like a new movement language, but the benefits of it, like my corporate job, I worked in a spine clinic. So 90% of those who come in have back pain and thinking surgery is the option, and surgery is not even an option. So how can people live and move? Like I firmly believe Pilates is it changed my body and changed my life. I know it can change any one of yours lives. And I highly recommend, give it a try. The really cool thing about Pilates is it can meet you at any fitness level. And I teach from age 7 to age 90. And there is a session available for everybody in between.
Well, transitioning a little onto the business side, Amy, coming from a corporate office,
yes,
into owning your own business, what motivated that transition, and what are some lessons that you learned along that path that if you're about to do this, like, here's something that I wish that I knew that you definitely can learn from me?
Yeah, the shift was burning the candle at both ends, working, 50, 60 hours a week. It just and it was really not my passion.
Sure.
It was a job.
Tough.
Great job, but it was not my passion, and it was sucking the life out of me. And I'm like, I can't keep down this path. There's got to be more to life than a good paycheck.
Real quick. So when you talk about a job being a great job, is that because it was paying well? Is that because you were making an impact on people? What to you defined a great job?
Well, in that case, it was a secure job. It paid well. There was always work. It was secure. Job security, right? Benefits, all those things.
Now, paying the bills.
And then some. It was a great, allowed for a great lifestyle, but there was no joy in it. Really, it was sucking my soul. And so I just knew it was time I didn't want to do that for 20 more years before I retired. There was no passion in that day-to-day life. And so switching was okay, I want to make a difference in people's lives. I knew how Pilates changed not just my body, but my mind and my spirit. It is for me, my moving meditation. And if I could share that to me was way more fulfilling than a paycheck. Now, awesome. Fast forward, starting out, it's hard. It's where do you start? What do you need? What do I have to do? I think sometimes we get really caught up in the shiny objects. I'll tell you, the two most important things is provide a great service, really nurture those clients, build the community, and work your network. That is what will sustain your business. That is what will grow your business. And to be honest, that really will fulfill you as a business owner when you're making a difference in people's lives.
Of course. Yeah. And not only that, it fuels you, it fuels your employees, it fuels your customers. And our goal isn't to have a customer that comes 1, 2, 3 times as a trial. We're trying to create these lifelong cheerleaders. And
absolutely. And a lot of my clients have been with me since I started.
Which was when?
6.5 years ago.
That's awesome.
They're still clients to this day in the studio. And that to me is the longevity of Pilates is for at any age. When I say 7 to 90, I'm not kidding. And everything in between. Where else can you go and do that? And it's about keeping you moving. And when you create so much value to your clients, I know it's about the movement, but it's so much more. It's about being there, supporting, letting them be heard, and moving them to discover something they didn't know they were able to do. And that when they talk to their friends, to their local, I always believe, even in doing a conference, I created a conference for the industry because I knew in Canada we needed to come together. We were traveling to the US and it's just not feasible for many. And doing it in Canada, coming together, was those teachers who were in that room in that moment was about them. But what it was more important to me is what they were going to take home to their communities. That to me was like, that keeps giving. It's not just this moment in time. Let's support the teacher or the client in front of you today. Give them everything you can, and that they will take into their lives, which then feeds into their community, which just really makes the world a better place. And they feel those benefits. So do not underestimate the power of word of mouth. That will be your best advertisement. I have done one sponsored ad in my life. One.
God bless you.
And it was successful, but it has never been as successful as ask your clients what they love, asking them why they keep coming back. Ask them if they know somebody who might benefit from whatever industry you're in or whatever service you provide. They will have people. And it's the power of the ask. You have to ask.
Oh, yeah. And then with word of mouth, people start to spread their word of mouth digitally, whether that's through Google reviews or on their Facebook and their social media. And we all know the power of Google because we all use it every single day. But true. Yeah, it's incredible. So I definitely agree. Amy, before we wrap up, you focus very heavily on community, which I love. What are some ways that you personally have helped and seen from a community aspect your business grow that you can recommend to our listeners?
Well, I think sometimes when we say community, people are like, where do I even start? I don't have a business to partner with. And that's not always what community means. To me, community means it's an invitation. It's an invitation to all demographics, all backgrounds, and it doesn't have to be big. It can be, your community can start with 3 people. Build that community, create meaningful relationships, have meaningful conversations, and provide value to that community. And then extend the invitation. And I know the ask is hard, but sometimes the ask is the most important thing. We can't expect unless we ask. We have to be very clear in what we're asking for. I think spending a little bit of time in what does community mean to you? What does it look like? Who do you want in that community? When you get that clarity within your mind and you get a vision of that client who is part of that, it grows. It really does grow organically.
Yeah, I love that answer because everybody tries to be everything to everyone, especially when you're starting your business, and it doesn't work. If you can provide the results that someone's looking for, and those results can vary for the same persona.
Absolutely, they can vary. And I think, and not every client is for you, but when you have that clarity, then you're attracting the right people. And that it is okay to, I know when you're starting out, entrepreneurs, when we're starting out, we got to take every client. And I can tell you that'll be your worst mistake, is taking that client who you're like, this is not a good fit. If it's not a good fit, refer on and say, thank you, but I have another teacher who I think would be better for you. That is the most powerful thing you can do, which will actually grow your business faster. If you take on those ones that don't feel like good matches, it sucks dry your community too. So again, as business owners, you are a leader. You're a leader of your community, and you have to be clear about what that role is for you and what you want to look like. And no two people have to do it the same. Everybody's voice and vision matters.
Tell the world, how can they find you? If they're in your area, tell me about your business specifically. Let's promote yourself a little bit. Talk about it.
I am on social, Instagram. I'm arc.pilates. My website is arcpilates.ca. I'm just located just outside Calgary, Alberta. But again, I think the coolest thing that comes out of COVID is geography is no longer a limitation. I do in-person and virtual sessions. I also do, I am a big proponent of community, and that looks like many different things in many different ways. And we're just starting actually a new venture where we're actually taking the hybrid model to Pilates teacher trainers. So we're going to train teachers through a hybrid model. And if that's something that interests you, I hope you reach out, because it really is, this career is so fulfilling, and it nourishes my soul, which was the total opposite of what the corporate job did. And when it nourishes your soul, what you offer and how you serve people changes the world. It really does. And, if you fall in love with this movement, I don't know. We always say once you drink the Pilates Kool-Aid, you're in for life.
I agree personally, if that's worth anything to anyone.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's like nothing else you've tried. And, if you want to try it, you want to learn more about it, or you just want to have a conversation about it, my door, my Instagram, my Facebook, my website, the door is always open. I love to connect. I love to hear people's stories. And I think that's how we empower and make an impact with, entrepreneurs across all different disciplines of business.
That's amazing. Well, Amy, thank you so much. For those of you listening, thank you so much. That's another episode of Local Business Hacks. Stay tuned next week, where we'll meet with another entrepreneur in the health and wellness space. Amy, I can't thank you enough, and have an awesome day. Thank you so much. That's it for this week's episode. I hope you found it helpful. Be sure to head over to our site, local-business-hacks.com, to check out the show notes and send me questions or ideas for future episodes. If you want to grow your business, just like the people you've heard from here, follow Local Business Hacks Podcast and tune in for new tips, tricks, and tactics. Until next time, thanks for listening, and keep hacking.